shields, hoping that they don't get cracked because that audio cue might just be enough for somebody nearby to try and key them as well.
Yeah, having to force heal all of their resources at this point. Beautiful tags there is going to give them a little moment of relief. And that's exactly what has to be done here. So makes you appreciate having someone like Bolts on your team who can actually hit the shots that matter most. That means someone else on the lobby right now is taking that damage. If they're above, someone is definitely below. So these trades are happening in real time right now. Looking at the map, teams are starting to rotate in, now starting to get comfortable below them. If Bolts and Bryce can solidify their foundation, they have one of the stronger positions to actually close this game out now.
Almost makes me believe that they could have potentially gotten their hands onto that forecast tower as well, given that they were willing to commit to a rather central position inside of this last zone. But Queasy, Thomas, off the launch pad, they're gonna be some of the first touchdown front side of this next zone, and instantly Queasy trying to see if he can re-establish the height control, same level of success that they had in that last lobby. We know that's their game plan, and so does everybody else in this lobby.
I like that though too. He's got a lot of distance to work with, that natural elevation as well, not looking to overcommit given that the zone's gonna pull here. And it was the right call. It's going far south. You know, these are the things you can't really account for. When the zone starts to bounce like this, it makes a big difference. And Vico and Flixie with an excellent early rotate right now, taking advantage of everyone's decision to kind of wait this one out and come up and formulate a strategy. Huddy and Kovacs, though, below the surge for the first time on the tournament weekend.
And again, keep in mind, this is a duo that hasn't necessarily been struggling with surge, but they've also thankfully managed to find an elimination in the nick of time here. Kovacs gonna put his duo just above 127 now on that damage threshold, but they still got to make this rotate happen. They're trying to build up. They just expended their last underworld dashes, and now the focus coming back their way as they try to scale this hill face. An armor wall is gonna come out, and Kovacs just seeing if he can remain undetected.
This is so impressive by Chicho and Trulix. Chicho's gonna fall here to the storm with the refresh, which is so unfortunate, but they've managed to really earn their way through this endgame now. Can Trulix get to safety? They're still a long way in front of them. And it's almost bait that there's a zip line there. Don't take that, Trulix. He knows it. He's gonna avoid that at all costs here, going around the sides now. He's safe, but for how long? Top 20 in sight. Meanwhile, on high ground, other teams now starting to set up the zone. Not as brutal this time around, a little bit more of a forgiving rotate here as things are going across. If you have high ground, though, you are set up. And Cammy and Seti are one of those teams looking to be the day 2 comeback.
But they might not even recognize the fact that Flixie, Vico, they've managed to get this wraparound flank coming from a much less congested side of the zone, but still, Seti, Cammy, they are due for a comeback, and they've got to go massive here if they want to try and overcome a lot of those shortcomings that happened in day 1. Huddy, Kovacs now getting held at the base of this mountain base. The zone pulls through Mount Olympus just so brutal with all these shifts in the elevation.
Vico Flixie still alive as well right now, moving their way up, actually utilizing the zip line for a moment there. A little bit cautious though as he want to get to his teammate here. Who's on this ramp? There he is. Here comes the heals. They see a player below them, but they can't even afford to stick around. Unfortunately, Flixie misses the jump there. He'll just have to be caught up. Vico takes the build, breaks the ball through the zip line there, and now he is crushing his way through. Meanwhile, Bryce coming up behind them. Kovacs lands a shot on him. It's not safe at all here inside the top 15.
The zipline trick is not going to work out twice here as Bryce hoping that he can have an opportunity to utilize some of the last bits of that Flowberry Fizz, but again, Cammy, Seti, full control of the high ground, but keep your eyes on Blitz and Benno. They started ramping up. They might actually be close enough to get within striking range, and Thomas HD Queasy, similar mentality.
This has to be the hardest zone to make your rotate across here. Queasy knows it, beautiful tag there, but not enough to stay alive. Thomas HD will make it into the top 10, top 7 now. Vico still standing as well. This is probably the most difficult zone we have ever had at one of these invitationals. at this lane here. It just gets so intense now. But give it a moment here. Let things breathe. Vico's found his footing. Down goes Thomas. Top 5 now. Just moments away here from a potential win for Cammy and Seti now.
But the fact is, Vico is clutching up some very needed points as far as overcoming the top 3 inside the leaderboard. He's got the last little bits of his Flowberry Fizz to work with. Now he just needs to unleash. We know what kind of solo clutch potential he has in store. If he can find another elimination or 2, that could be the difference. But Click dead, gonna bring that one home.
Comes out of nowhere with a huge shot in the top 3 to put him right back into things here. It's Pixie, who's still alive alongside Giannis. It's a 2v2. They have enough health and just enough material to make this one very interesting. Armored walls now starting to come out. Cammy doing the same here to try to conserve some material. Seti's got a lot to work with, but so many armored walls are gonna buy them time, buy them room, right? There's still the clock running here. Nice counterfire now coming up to the high ground. Giannis is exceptionally well in these situations, but it's not looking good. Cammy and Seti are just chopping away now.
Seti even opting for the drop down, but it might not even be necessary